Hey everybody, this is Eric Johnson, reporting in and giving a status update to my latest trip out west. I did go. It was cold, it was rainy, it was snowy, it was blustery. I have video of some of it. And I have to say that it was a wonderful trip. Now, a couple of you have already asked me, did you find it? Did you find it? I said, no, I didn't find the treasure, but I found the blaze I was looking for. And that's what this video is going to be about. It's going to give you an insight into these treasure hunts have a way of morphing. It's like you can't turn off that spigot that's allowing data to come in, and you're always, you know what you're looking for, but it's very easy to say, oh, there's another clue, that'll take me over there a little bit. That's why people have done these trips 100 times, 150 times. They go out, they fail, but then they come up with another idea. That's what I missed. That's where I meant to go. On this one, that didn't happen. When I went on this trip, I said in the last video about going, where I discussed actually going out this time, that I was looking for something, and that I knew what I was looking for, and that when I found it, it may be the blaze. But I had to get boots on the ground to find the blaze. Long and short of it is, I found exactly what I was looking for. And though I didn't find the treasure chest, I will tell you this, to finally go on a Forrest Fenn treasure hunt and find something that I could identify and that you'll be able to identify, to actually find it was so freaking cool. It was worth the trip. I know I'm in the right area. This area, I would say, stretches for 200 miles. And I was in one aspect of it. I am absolutely convinced that the treasure is hidden somewhere on the Madison River. I don't think there can be any question at this point. And I went to something that hit me in the head one day. Let me just say this. I readjusted my hunt from a place that I'm within a 2-hour drive of. That place is still not off my radar. But without getting into the narrative and the specific reason why I adjusted my solve, I ended up in a place that, from reading Thrill of the Chase and from reading the poem and everything else, seemed unassailable in logic that it could be a place that Fenn would hide the treasure. Firehole River, things like that, could be where warm waters halt for this particular solve. And I want to address something very specific that has gone on. When I bring that up, I'm talking about the Madison River that Fenn fished as a youth, that Fenn and his family fished as a youth, a place that he spent years loving and enjoying. He is called Yellowstone, a magic place. I think it would be fair to say that Yellowstone and the Madison are some of the best memories of Fenn's life. So what happened was, and I know it's a little convoluted. You guys are going, wait a minute, you're talking about 200 miles away now. Let's just say I've got ideas that I'm constantly threshing about this entire area. I want to address something that happened when I got back. There was a guy named Trell. He's a troll. Trell the troll, I know. And he left all these comments on my YouTube page. My internet was very spotty when I was out in this area. And I kind of kept up as best I could with checking in and the internet between being out all day out and then coming home at night or the hotel and all that. And also just trying to have a little off time and not particularly looking at the search and the YouTube and all that. I didn't really notice this till I got back, but what happened was this guy Trell, he just went batshit crazy on me. He read the thing about, I've never seen him before on my page. I guess maybe he was a new arrival or something. But he read the thing that I did about the guy. Remember the guy that, for those of you that know my page and my videos, there was a guy who had contacted me with a story about going to Santa Fe and meeting Forrest Fenn on the street, and that Forrest Fenn had said, I can walk directly to the treasure from here, and they were standing on a street in Santa Fe. And I said, I don't know if this is a true story. I doubt it's a true story, but for a number of reasons that I explained, I made a video about it. Well, I don't know if this guy was the same guy with a different account or whatever, but he went off on me about I'm misdirecting people. It was as if he thinks I'm trying to misdirect people and I'm trying to screw up the whole hunt for everyone. First of all, me and my little channel don't have that kind of power. I've got just over 400 subscribers. This treasure hunt is for me, folks. I don't know if I've never made that clear. I am not the guru of the hunt. I don't even pretend to be. I'm not a teacher of the hunt. I'm not I don't have inside knowledge. I don't know Forrest Fenn. I barely communicate with other searchers. There are a few I communicate with, but it's all it's not inside stuff, you know what I mean? So when I'm doing these treasure hunts and I'm doing these videos, it's just for me. As I've said before, this is a hobby. And anyone that thinks, like this trail guy, I finally blocked the guy. Then he got on he got on another one of my videos, and it was just all slams. It was just the big middle finger, every single one to me, and calling me basically a jerk and that I'm just nasty. And I decided, who needs it? So I blocked him. I don't know why people do that on YouTube. If you're going to sit there, if you're going to sit there and just trash a person and their character and their page on every comment you make, I assume you understand you're probably going to lose that privilege pretty quick, right? So anyway, Trell, I had to block him, and I don't even know how that works. I don't know if you can see the videos but can't comment. All I know is whenever I block people, I think I've blocked 3 people now, 3 or 4, that they're all... they never can comment again, and that's all I'm trying to prevent. Not because I have a problem with criticism, but when 100% of your comments are criticism, we're not having a fair. When 100% of your comments are criticism, you're no longer being fair, and you're no longer being rational. I mean, you're obviously just looking at things to pick on the person for. So I don't appreciate that, and it brings me negative energy, and I don't like negative energy. So anyway, the point of bringing that up was, I'm not trying to misdirect people when I get a little wobbly about locations. But this place that I went, I think you're going to appreciate what these videos are about. I'm sure there'll be 2 or 3 parts to this. One day, I was thinking about this area, and I was thinking about Forrest Fenn and how much he loves this area. And I was thinking about how much I think his childhood memories have to do with the special place. This is another weird thing. I get the weirdest kind of angry vibes from New Mexico searchers. I've had a number of people like, "You're wrong, it's in New Mexico." And it's like, okay, God, Jesus, you're way too north, you're wrong. It's down in New Mexico, it's gotta be in New Mexico, he lives in New Mexico. I don't even want to get into it, but really, you think Forrest Fenn's special place, that this magnificent memory he has of good times and whatever, came to him when he was living in Santa Fe in New Mexico after 40, the age of 40? Really? All the memories of his times in Yellowstone as a young man, I mean, that's when a lot of people have really wonderful memories occur. Most of them are when they're young. I mean, I just don't think it's in New Mexico because he moved there when he was in, I think, 40 or 42 or something. I just don't think he had any great memories that formed in New Mexico outside of things like maybe running his art dealership and things and memories with his wife. But as far as being outside and stuff, I could be wrong, but folks, New Mexico's never been of interest to me. And I know I was in Colorado for for a few visits, trips on this. So, a lot of people Colorado's the man, and everybody knows it's not in Colorado. So give me credit, at least I made it to Yellowstone. And Yellowstone, for a lot of people, is the most obvious. It's almost like it's too obvious. Boy, you go to Yellowstone, you aren't even using your imagination, man. It's the obvious place to go, and that's why Fenn didn't put it there either. Maybe not. But he didn't put it there for Fenn did not hide the treasure because there was a blaze there that he could use. Fenn did not hide the treasure in a special place because he thought he could fool everyone. People would look at his life and say, well, he would never hide it here because he wouldn't like that place, so therefore he put the treasure there. No, Fenn has made it very clear. This is not some sort of, he's not setting up a treasure hunt. He is setting up a treasure hunt to fool us in that he has made it a puzzle. But the special place, in my humble opinion, is a place that means a lot to him. He has said that over and over. I think once he said to some searcher that asked him a Q&A, the person said, would you say it's a place that you have reverence for? And he said something like, yeah, reverence or something like that. And yeah, I like the way you think or something. He really has a personal attachment to this place. He even in another interview said an umbilical attachment. Umbilical. What does that mean? Familial. Family. And you're saying, well, yeah, Eric, but it also just means a very, very close attachment. It doesn't have to have something to do with his family. Okay, fine. Folks, I went out. Bear with me while we move on to part 2.